Hey everybody, my name's Ramon, and welcome to the glorious return of Deck Builds Done Quick. I took a little break to revamp the series' visuals, so let me know what you think, but this intro's already gone on too long. I've got no time! You think this is a game? Starting with Digitama, first up is Cupimon. This is the best yellow Digitama, bar none. Now we don't run a lot of recovery in this deck, or any at all, but that's why you want to evolve over this little guy early and start drawing cards as fast as possible. If we could play 5 of them, we would, but we can't, so Togemon is next, I guess. Listen, I know what the slide says, but this is a filler Digimon. Does he provide boosts? Yes. But if you flip this Digitama over on your first raising phase, you're gonna be pissed. Hence why he's only at 1. Moving on to the Digimon that actually do stuff, Palmon. Those Digitama are yellow, right? A green card in a yellow deck? What? I mean, I guess it has an on-play that can grab any color Digimon, so you don't really need to evolve it, but there's no way this works. Does it? Kudamon! Thanks to Serafimon, we're back to yellow. This, much like Cupimon, grants you the ability to start drawing cards early to maintain a healthy hand size. It's pretty weak in the DP department, but getting that extra draw is essential in the early game. Tsukaimon? Am I saying that right? He's just a vanilla. Vanillas are great at basically any stage of the game. They're cheap, effective, and work really well against other Digimon of their level. They definitely shouldn't be underestimated. Speaking of which, Tinkermon. While not as cost efficient as its other vanilla counterpart, cost doesn't matter if you can play it for free. Plus, she's heckin' cute. Look, I'm no lolly lover, so get off my back.
Execute Digivolution.
Woodmon. He's a blocker, and quite hard to get past. All innuendos aside, the reason you play your blockers in this color is because you really don't want to evolve over your blockers anyway, so it only makes sense. Got it? Angemon, the start deck one. It's a decent level 4, pretty on par when it comes to cost and DP, but the important part here is the inheritable. Getting that extra memory mid-game, whoo boy! Petermon rounds out our level 4s. Still on par as far as cost goes, but you really get a bang for your buck when you hard play this. Not only does he come in with 1k more DP, but if you have a Tinkermon in your hand or trash, you can play it for free. That's going to generate a lot of aggro on your side of the board and be able to quickly start taking out your opponent's security. Plus, look at this sexy piece of Digi-Man meat.
Execute Matrix Digivolution.
Digitamamon. Now if you guys couldn't tell by now, all of the green cards in this deck do something without the need for evolution. This way, if you can't evolve over it, you don't lose any value. That being said, memory borrowers are good in their own right. They have above average DP as well as a pretty sweet on attack skill. Also, this make anyone else want to take a trip to the Shadow Realm, or just me? Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Magna Angemon, because they didn't want to push religion in a franchise that already had angels saving everyone. As far as stats go, he's pretty average, but that's not the reason he's in this deck. We use him for his inheritable. Minus 1k DP on attack, and it's not once per turn? Sign me up. Mistymon. I won't bore you. This Digimon is here because it has an incredibly strong on play. Either you wipe 2 level 3s off of the board, or you weaken 2 opposing Digimon enough to smash into them. It's a win-win.
Execute Biomerge Digivolution.
Serafimon. Yes, the start deck one. Serafimon is here for one reason and one reason only.
To take some lives.
Every time he attacks, you minus 4k one of your opponent's Digimon. And it's not even once per turn. Bonkers. If your opponent doesn't have an answer to your Serafimon, you start creating this huge gap in board presence that they just can't catch up from. Grand Kuwagamon. Well, look what we have here. It's everyone's favorite giant beetle thing. Do I really have to tell you how good this card is? It gains 4k DP on your turn for no reason, and then it gets piercing for no reason. He's a beast. Already a great card on its own, but with a certain, shall we say, option. Before we jump right in, I want to point out that this option I'm about to talk about is the whole reason I built the deck. I'm sure you all noticed, but most of our yellow Digimon have on attack skills. I wanted to abuse that heavily by using a card that was most likely never intended to be used on yellow Digimon, ever. So lo and behold, Dimension Scissor. This is the focal point of the deck. This option either forces a damage through or can board wipe your opponent, all while gaining exponential value off of all your Digimon's on attack skills. Yes, I know, I'm a genius. Please hold your applause till the end of the video, because surprisingly, we're not done here yet. Testament is up next. This I feel is an often overlooked option. Being able to grant any one of your Digimon blocker will undoubtedly extend your life, and being able to recur this from security as well as drawing a card, it's great at almost any stage of the game. Almost. Strike of the 7 stars. If you've been playing this game at all, you know how important removal is by now. Disrupting your opponent's flow and game state is very powerful. I found myself using this card, putting my opponent to 5 memory, and them not really being able to do much with it. As always, timing is everything. Tamer time. Mimi Tachikawa. Tamers are incredibly important when you're making a 2-color deck. I've said it before, but tamers can't really be interacted with right now. Once you get a tamer with your splash color, color, in this case green, on board, you are no longer locked out of that portion of your deck. You can play green options till your heart's content. Also, she's a 4-cost tamer, which are staples. Unfortunately, her second skill isn't going to do much for you most of the time. TK. This little guy doesn't look like much, but if you get 2 or more of him on board, it gets very out of hand, very quickly. During one game, my opponent had 3 of these on board at once, and I just had to assume that whenever I attacked security, I was gonna lose my Digimon. Hooray, this is the part of the video where I go over some alternatives. First up, if you really don't like Angemon or even Petermon, then just swap it out with the Caesarmon. Jammers will allow you to start swinging at security unrestricted, and quite early too. Do you happen to think this deck needs more recovery and more waifus? Well, do I have the card for you. Meet Angewoman. If you're starting to lose security fast, and why not infuriate your opponent by recovering one? Even using it only once per game will usually extend your life by a whole turn. Do you think we need even more green options? Do you hate that our removal option costs 7? Well, might I direct your attention to Flower Cannon. It pairs nicely with Dimension Scissor, and if it winds up in your security, watch as your opponent's face turns a nice shade of cherry red as they scoop up all of their cards and quit Digimon forever. As always, here's the full build in case anyone wants to grab a screen cap for ratios. And hey, did you enjoy this video? Did you, much like a lot of others, think a 2-color deck was impossible? Do you want to learn how to build your own 2-color deck? Well, it just so happens that I recently put out a video on just that, aptly named How to Build a 2-Color Deck. I put a lot of time and research into that video, so I'd really appreciate you giving it a watch. If you've already seen that video, why don't you pop into the comments below and tell me what you think of the new D.B.D.Q. Did you love it? Hate it? Not really sure what I did different? Leave it in the comments below. Trust me, I see all of them. All of you guys that sit here and watch my video, leave a like and comment, really keep me going when it comes to content creation. So I want to tell you all from the bottom of my heart, okay, thanks, bye!